Hey friends, Dr. Murphy. On August 19th, I'm trying something new with the history of words we hear used a lot. Let's take about 2.5 minutes. This one is racketeering. The title, Illicit Schemes with a Noisy Backdrop. And I'm going to just read parts of this great essay. At a late night news conference on Monday, Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis summed up the core of a grand jury indictment of Donald Trump and 18 others on conspiracy charges. Quote, the defendants engaged in a criminal racketeering enterprise to overturn Georgia's presidential election results. Later. But how did this word, which brings to mind cacophony and corruption in equal measure, become enshrined in our legal system? Racket, R-A-C-K-E-T, in English in the 16th century, when it first got used for loud disturbances and general disorder. In 1565, the English clergyman Matthew Parker, serving as the Archbishop of Canterbury, wrote a letter later. It appears to be unrelated to the other kind of racket, also spelled R-A-C-Q-E-T, for the implemented use in tennis and related sports. The racket of tennis came from the French word rache for the palm of the hand, from a precursor to modern tennis once known as jeu de paume, or palm game, in which players originally struck the ball with their hands. By the 18th century, racket got extended to loud protests, exuberant social gatherings, and the hustle and bustle of society in general. Racket applied to some particular kinds of fraud and robbery. It wasn't until the Prohibition era that racket became firmly linked to organized crime, thus our image here. The Tribune reported on the mob funeral of Al Capone's brother Frank, killed in a police shootout. Quote, all manner of racketeers were in attendance, end quote. When the Racketeer Influenced and Corruption Organizations Act was enacted into federal law in 1970, the acronym RICO seemed like a callback to Prohibition days. Rico, after all, was the name of the gangster portrayed by Edward G. Robinson in the classic 1931 gangster movie Little Caesar. And then they finish, while it's never been confirmed that Rico was an intentional backronym, in alluding to the film. I mean, just wonderful history of this word.